Oh, you know I'm standing on higher ground. No, I'm standing on higher ground.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome to the Kotel. My name is Shmuley Weiss, working at Chabad of the Kotel, Baruch Hashem. Every day thousands of people put on tefillin over here. And we would like to bless our friend, Avrami. We should continue with his great work, spreading the tzitzit, spreading the protections for tzitzit. And Hashem should protect him, give him health and happiness and success. Shana tova, Gama Chatima tova. So the tzitzit that Avrami gives out with the strings, it's called fringe benefits. We make sure Jews wear tefillin and tzitzit. It's both protection. God should protect him, and we should protect all the Jews in Beis Hamikdash Hashlishi right now with Mashiach's appeal. Good enough.
Oh, you know I'm standing on higher ground. No, I'm standing on higher ground. I can't see what's coming at me. I know just what's going down.
I would love to buy one from this. So cool. Gives me I really feel holy and free.
When the whole world will sing your one song, one song.
Watch me taking these and throwing it in a bag, whatever. I'm going to throw these in a bag. Hi, my name is Yitzchak Katzberg. Right now we're in the Tzfat tie-dye tzitzis factory, the Tzfat as we call it. These tzitzis, they were tie-dyed by groups of Jews. Tie-dye tzitzis is a unity project. They're colored by Jews, groups of Jews. We do them here, but most of the time they're done in schools and camps and nature parties and any type of group settings, trips, barbecues. And then they're never ready right away. We'll show you how we do the process. They always take a few more weeks till they're ready. They're given out later on as a present to another Jew. So when somebody gets a tzitzis and they're like really cool tzitzis and they start wearing it, so that everybody who had a part in making them, whoever colored it, whoever handed it to them, whoever donated it to them, whoever moved it from here to there, or whatever, anybody who touched the tzitzis basically as part of their mitzvah. So their neshamas are combined in this mitzvah and like holding hands. And I was like tens of thousands of these tzitzis out there. And it's a web of unity and paying it forward, just giving it to to the next guy and helping another yid make do a mitzvah. Thing is that we want everybody to be wearing these tzitzis in one moment. We want everybody to have a part in it. So even if they don't wear the tzitzis, to donate the tzitzis or to help make them or something. We want everybody, in all the Jews in the world, to have some part in the tzitzis. Even a small donation of a penny, you're in the web, you're in part of it. That amount. So tzitzis, when we say Shema, every day we say it in the morning, we say it at night. So the third part of Shema talks about tzitzis and the commandment to wear tzitzis. Generally, it's a commandment for men to wear tzitzis. You have to wear it by the daytime, so it's a time mitzvah. So men wear tzitzis. And the idea with tzitzis, the word tzitzis comes from the word to matzitz, to peer at something, to gaze at something, and to like see, to see something. And we wear them with strings on the four corners. And the idea is to try to see God and the bigger picture all around us. He's in the four corners of the world. Hashem is everywhere. And the tzitzis, there's knots. It's all about tying the picture together and trying to see God in your life, see Hashgacha Pratis, the divine providence in your life. And there's all sort of references in terms of the strings and in terms of the knot. So this gematria in Hebrew, all the numerical letters all the letters in Hebrew have a numerical value. So the word tzitzit, tzadik yud, taf, tzadik is 90, yud is 10, 90, 10, and taf is 400. That's 600 altogether. And there's 8 strings, 608, and there's 5 knots. It's 613. Just like the Taryag mitzvah, we have 613 mitzvahs. So when you wear tzitzis and you have them all around you, it reminds you of those mitzvahs, and it helps a Jew have a deeper connection with God and to his mitzvahs and to commandments, and to love God and to love the other Jews around him. And this project, even more so, has this whole unity aspect to it, where when I'm wearing this, I'm connected to there's tens of thousands of people wearing the tzitzis, and even more tens of thousands of people involved in it, and coloring them or donating them or making them. So I almost never take them off. I sleep in them even just because I feel connected to this whole web of thousands, tens of thousands of other Jews, and hopefully soon to all the Jews in the world. For men, a woman theoretically could wear it voluntarily. They're not required to wear it. It's meant to be worn in the day particularly, so therefore men are commanded in it. They have the commandment of tznius, of dressing modestly, but for men, tzitzis is that's the clothing commandment for them to wear these tzitzis. Traditionally, the men's tzitzis, that's a white garment, with the black stripes, so that's already considered a man's garment, and women are not supposed to wear them because there's another commandment about men and women wearing each other's clothing. They're not supposed to do that. So those are women can't wear those, but these are tie-dye. So if a woman really wants to wear them, they could. It's not traditionally considered a man's garment, but the traditional white tzitzis is considered traditionally a man's garment, and a woman probably should not wear those ones. But tie-dye they could if they really want, but they're not required to. They could have part of the mitzvah in making tzitzis for another Jew, and then they get part of that guy's mitzvah if they give it to their brother or to their husband or a friend of theirs or something like that. They get part of his mitzvah too, and they get part of this project just like everybody else. Well, the idea of the tie-dyeing, we just this thing really didn't start with one guy. It was like a group project. Somebody thought, let's give out colored tzitzis, those would be cool, and then somebody else thought, hey, tie-dye, let's do it. There's this a festival going on, a music festival, tie-dye would be cool. And then another group of people came over and made the tie-dye, and another group handed them out. So this whole project was never like one person. This whole thing was a group idea anyway. And from there, and at the beginning, nobody even thought like we're making tzitzis and we're gonna get part of somebody else's mitzvah and unity. It was just like, let's make cool tzitzis, and it kind of like grassroots movement. People loved it, and they're like, yo, we need to get more of these. And then they started giving out in Kikar Tzion on Thursday nights at midnight. They used to give out pizza in the Kikar Tzion to make blessings and have people in mind to have a refuah shalema, and they started giving out tzitzit. And the condition was that you had to wear it over your clothing for the rest of the night. And we would give out 150, 200 pairs of tzitzis every Thursday night. And you see every type of Jew taking them and just walking around town in Yerushalayim, the busiest time, wearing these tzitzis. And it's a huge kiddush Hashem because you saw every type of Jew, and that's kind of what these tzitzis represent. All the different tribes have different flags and different colors, and if you notice, like they all have different swirls, and there's no two alike. That's like us Jews. There are no two Jews alike, but we're all Jews. There's no two tie-dye tzitzis alike because they're handmade, but they're all tie-dye tzitzis. And all the swirls and all the different pathways, everybody has their own path in Avodas Hashem and their own path of life. And that's kind of like, there's all the symbolism in tie-dye tzitzis, how, to be an individual, but then still be, accepting of everybody, and to be, we're all Jews, and we're all just part of a bigger picture, and we're all brothers, and we're all really just one neshama. And that's the idea with tie-dye tzitzis, that everybody could express their individuality, and they don't have to be in any box or anything like that, but we're all united. We just got these white tzitzis right now. I'm going to take these ones off the rack, I'm going to put it in a bag, and ready to get picked up. So these, a lot of these tzitzis are actually going out towards to Panama. This is like an international organization. Yesterday in this location over here in Tzfat, we get a lot of tourists here in Tzfat, and we're next door to a Ascent. So there's all these people coming through, and we send out to all over the world. Well, we want everybody to have them all over the world. Yesterday there was somebody from Singapore. I never even met somebody from Singapore, but he came through and he put on a pair of tzitzit, and we sent him out to England, and next door, it's a hostel next door, and they have groups coming in, and they could stay over, but they also could take classes on Judaism, beginner Judaism, and they have all sort of programs. Now it's before Rosh Hashanah, they make shofars there, and they teach people about Okay, so this is the last tzitzit. These are going to get sent out to the tzitzis company, and they're going to put strings on it. Here we do stringing for demonstrations and stuff. The tzitzis is a commandment for Jewish people. It's a garment that expresses our connection to God and our special connection as Jews to God, and it's like a uniform. Only Jews are really commanded to wear it.
Yeah, ladies and Lloyd in the house. From Eretz HaKodesh.
Yeah, they wouldn't be getting any special mitzvah for wearing them. Goyim are commanded to do 7 mitzvahs of B'nai Noach, and the rest of the mitzvahs, 613 of them, is a lot. Jews are really commanded to them. If a guy wants to keep Shabbos, he's not even really supposed to do that. So the Goyim are not really commanded to do those mitzvahs that Jews are, but they have their separate 7. And if they fulfill those 7, mitzvot, then they're righteous Gentiles, and they'll have a close relationship to Hashem. Speaking to Hashem, they should, in prayer, speak from their heart. Speak to Hashem all the time, and Hashem will answer them, and Hashem, they'll see divine providence in their life. That's for all mankind. But these mitzvahs that the Torah was given to the Jews, and this is our mitzvahs and our commandments, and non-Jews, if they take them on and start doing them, they're not really doing anything. They're not commanded to do it, and they don't really get anything out of it. But a woman, if she does choose to wear tzitzis, she'll get a mitzvah. Yeah, it's a volunteer. She'll get a mitzvah. There's other commandments also that are not commanded for women. Sukkot is coming to take a lulav and esrog. They're not commanded to do that, but if they want to go do that, then they get a mitzvah too. Well, there's a general thing. Women are not committed. They're not commanded to do mitzvahs that are bound by a certain time. So if there's a mitzvah, to wear to do a certain time of the day or a certain time of the year, they're not commanded to do it. Women are basically they have other mitzvahs that they do have, mitzvahs that are commanded to everybody they have. But basically, Judaism believes in the traditional, family unit, where the mother and the wife takes care of the household and stuff like that. And if she had to like run to shacharit in the morning and stuff like that, but there's a baby crying, it wouldn't really function that well. So they're actually given a very important job. The house is actually the core of where most of the mitzvahs go on, and most of the education goes on for the next generation. And because she's in charge of the house, and she actually has influence, pretty strong influence over her husband, the male of the house. Being in charge of that is actually a really, really important job. It's like in the army, a general. You don't have the general doing these small jobs. He's the one who's like controlling and commanding everything. The same way as a Jewish household, the wife and the mother, she's kind of the spiritual, she brings the spiritual, she's the one who controls the household. And for her to have to run out and, to run out to do all these time-bound mitzvahs all the time, she's not required. She's more open and free to do what she needs to do to run that part of the important part of Judaism. And the males, they're commanded to go do time-bound mitzvahs. And that's basically this. So tzitzit is one of the time-bound mitzvahs that a woman is not required to do. She could, if she wants to, like I said, as long as she's not wearing, traditional man's garment. She could consult her own Orthodox rabbi. So let me make a demonstration of how tie-dye tzitzits are made. So the first thing is this. Take some tzitzit, some white ones. Now this bucket over here has water and baking soda. The baking soda is the glue that binds the tzitzit together. The glue that binds the color is this. Sorry. So we take them out and we soak them in here. Until it's saturated. In a bucket. This is tie-dye is safe and tie-dye is good, and it's fun really for all ages. I recommend people doing it for little kids that they should wear clothing that if they, if it stains, it's permanent. That's the idea, to stay, But you can wear a smock or wear clothing that's okay for these arts and crafts, and that it can get dirty. That's recommended. Older people, just be careful, or they don't have to do the dye part and get close to the table with the dye, and they can just do making the designs. But the way we're set up over here for small groups, that we could have people coming and doing different stations and having a part in different tzitzis. So the first part, so we soaked it in over here, so we're going to squeeze it out. You make one at a time. To make one actually takes 30 seconds, not even, it's pretty quickly. Okay. So you take them. There's all sort of different designs, and anything you do in tie-dye comes out something, basically. You can't really screw up tie-dye, so... but this is a design. The design I'm going to make is like these twirls. You see these three designs are actually all the same design. It's just how you fold them comes out different stuff. I'll put them on the table and I'll give it a twist in the middle. And you take rubber bands and you put rubber bands over. Here, this one I'll fold over. I put it on the table. Okay, I'll fold it over. Now when I open it, it's going to be like a double design. And I twist like this. The other hand, you round it up like that. Take 2-3 rubber bands. Yeah, we try to explain that these tzitzits are not being sold. Sometimes people come and they ask how much is the tzitzit. These tzitzits are not being sold. They're given out as a present. It's already been paid for by another Jew from donations. If you'd like, to donate, we have a pushka over here. You know, it's about 25 shekels for a pizza pair of tzitzis, or about $6 or $7 to make up here of tzitzis. There's no profit. Everything all just goes back into the operation just to try to get more. We try to get them out there as cheaply as possible to get as many as possible. That's the idea. So this is what they look like. Tzitzit. Another design even. Different ones. This one I'll make like the circle, the classic tie-dye, like a sun. Take it like this. Make a few sections. They sometimes do break. Try to keep them in the fridge. They keep them cool and they last a little longer. Sometimes they dry out and break. Snaps on your finger, it hurts a little, but it's for good cause. Water and baking soda or soda ash, both of them work. They're basically very similar. There's not an exact science, but the water should have a silky feel to it. And this is the dyeing station. So we put on gloves for this. And if you want, we also have smocks, but let's try to be careful. Dozens of tzitzis here. We had a group earlier yesterday that made that. So yeah, there's some of these that are different colors, but here's a box. This box is just all colors in all different shades. We have yellows, reds, blues, numerous ones. What? Is a cold water dye. A lot of these dyes you need to have hot water and you need to mix it with salt, and it makes the process a little harder because you have to have these pots of boiling water. We order them from a company. It's called dharmatrading.com. That's I don't know if you can see it. At an arts and crafts store you could buy it. We encourage that the tie-dye tzitzis is encouraged to, we want people to go do it themselves. You know, if there's like a school or a shul or something like that and they want to get involved in this project, they don't necessarily have to get involved. Call up, you know, the website and get involved. It doesn't have to go through us. We actually encourage, and we have videos on the website, tutorials, how, like I'm doing now, how to make a tie-dye tzitzis party. And we want them to go do it themselves. So if somebody wants to get involved, go get the tzitzis and dye, and please do it yourself. But so every section we're going to dip in like a different color. So this will dip in yellow. Dip it in for a few seconds and you squeeze it. Well, it does. In some places where they mix, they're going to mix. This one is blue. I'll show you. So you dip it with a blue, but yellow and blue makes green. And if you see over here, there's green. So we didn't have dip it in green, but yellow and blue makes green. So it's something else to factor in. And this is a brownish color. Yeah, brown. We're always different, experimenting with different colors, different color combinations. It's really unlimited, and we've done so many that there's like batches, but every tie-dye party we put together different colors. Sometimes we try to make sports themed colors. People like that. Sometimes camps for a color war, they want every team to have different colors. We do that. Special requests. We make army ones like this one is green with the green base, and you make the design with black and brown. It comes out looking like camouflage, and the soldiers really like that. For Yom Ha'atzmaut, we do white and blue ones. So really it's unlimited in terms of the colors. You can do whatever. Okay. Here's one more. Yeah, this is like a navy blue, a dark blue. Okay, so what happens afterwards is you put it in a plastic baggie and you twist it closed, and this is going to sit in this baggie for 3-4 days until the color and the design sets. If you open it right away, the design is going to bleed. If you wash it right away, it's going to bleed. You know, it's not really going to do it. So this is why this, like, it never goes to the person who's making it. It always takes, you know, a few more days till it makes, till it's done being made, and then it goes to another Jew as a present. But what we're going to do, another station, where we're going to open up tzitzis that was made a little while ago. You know, under these bags, there's some tzitzit. These were made a little while ago, and we'll open them up. And this is my favorite part of the job, to open up these tzitzit and finally see what the designs and what they're going to come out. You know? Put it in a bucket, and then we have a washing machine and dryer over here. I just do a cold water rinse wash, just a rinse cycle. It's about 45 minutes. It just throws a lot of water at it. You see the water is all colored, like, you know, green or blue, whatever. But afterwards, it doesn't run anymore. The way it washes, I mean, you got to be careful if any of these tzitzis that have dye in them touches the side. You know, you wipe it down or whatever. But inside the machine, after a rinse cycle, it throws a lot of water. It rinses and it's fine. You could use it for your regular wash afterwards also. Cold water rinse, yeah. Well, we like to hang dry it. And then once they're dried, they're sent out. They're sent back to the tzitzis factory, to the tzitzis company, and they tie it, you know, and they give it back to us packaged, you know, with the ashkacha, just like the same like you buy in the store. And then they're given out, you know, and the process takes a few weeks until it's all, you know, from beginning to end. But basically, that's how it goes. So there are opinions that say you could, and that you actually they're supposed to be the same color as the garment. Not all opinions. What you could do is you could put them in a plastic baggie, put the strings together in a plastic baggie, and put like a rubber band around it, something like this, and wash it with the plastic baggie like this, you know. And if you put the rubber band on tight so it doesn't like bleed through, that's one way you could do it. Or you could carefully untie the tzitzis. Don't cut the tzitzis, because the strings have to be made lishma. They're not just regular strings. They have to be made with intention. When you tie the strings, also they have to be made with intention. And you could buy them. Yeah, we do it without the strings because, well, even though they're kosher if they're colored, but they're weird to people. They're unusual, and then people ask these questions. So we try to do it without the strings and put them on afterwards. That's the way we found it's the best way. Then just either put them in a plastic baggie or carefully take them off and then put them back on. And when you tie them, you got to tie them lishma. If you want to make a demonstration on how to tie tzitzis, real quickly.
Yeah, ladies and Lloyd in the